everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Mommy Mondays. If you are watching this on the playback on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, and or leave a comment about the video as you go along. So super excited tonight. I know for the past couple weeks I've had a guest, but tonight I wanted to talk about some things that were a little, I won't say personal, but just, a little bit more focused on what I have going on. So I'm super excited to do that. So, um, as you all know, I have a theme song. Mm-mm-mm. So I'm gonna play my theme song. You guys ready? Here we go. Mommy Monday. Go and grab yourself a little snack while we have ourselves a little chat. Now, Mommy Mondays. Cute. I love it. I don't know if you can hear it, but I love it. So thank you so much, Mike. Mike. Went to high school with me and made me a little track. I'm gonna get in the studio with my guest from last week, Mr. Leonard, and get everything hooked up so I don't have to sing it every time and it's all together. Okay. So anyway, so tonight I wanted to talk about a few things. The past couple of days have been a little rough, just for me. So I can't speak for other people. I can only speak for myself. So, I just wanted to talk about a few things that I know have been a concern for some, maybe not for others. I made a post on last week. At this point, yes, it was last week. I made a post last week about, um, having children. I think that there are so many people who, you know, one, have children, two, are in the process of preparing to have a child, or, in the pregnant stages, or are considering having children, or, just it deal concerning children just in general. And I know that there's a stigma for a lot of people, once they get married, to have children. And for some, even just once getting into a relationship, if they've been single for a while, just depending upon their age, that's where the stigma, I'm talking about their age and, whether or not they're supposed to have children. So I just wanted to address that just a little bit because I am a person who, initially when growing up, did not desire to have children. Um, I personally didn't, you know, think that I was ever going to have children, and I didn't think that I was ever going to get married. I didn't consider those to be things that were a part of the plan for my life. I thought I was going to, just jump into my career, move forward, progress, make it all the way to the top, retire. Initially, my life just did not include children, and it did not include marriage just initially. It wasn't until um, I found um, a different space in my life that I was even open to the idea or the concept of relationship or marriage after going through some significant trauma with other relationships. So, just the idea that I even got married and that I have children really still blows the minds of many people in my family because they just never thought that that was anything that I wanted. So, I wanted to talk about it because last week I made a post about people who say that, they're waiting on that perfect time to have children. They're waiting on the perfect time to, um, you know, cross the finish line with the idea of having kids. And I think that there are so many people who have just who have decided that, well, I'm not going to have children until I have my money in order. But what my post last week was about was the fact that some people say they're not having children until their money is in order. But you really, before having children, want to make sure that your mind is in order. And I think this is so appropriate because pretty much all of my Mommy Mondays have included at least a comment regarding self-care, and being able to, um, you know, care for yourself as a parent first and then the children. I know a lot of people may not agree with that. They're like, well, no, you have kids, you got to take care of your kids first. I'm not saying you don't take care of your children. What I'm saying is you tend to your needs as a human being concerning your mental and emotional health before choosing to care, trying to care for your children, because it's really hard to care for someone when you don't have yourself together. So, it really tugged on me these past couple of days because it's been just a little rough trying to make sure that I am doing what I need to do for myself and also doing what I need to do for my children. So it's definitely a concern for me, um when it comes to just paying attention to your mental health as a parent or a caregiver or whomever. If you're dealing with children, that's most definitely necessary. And if you're not taking care of yourself, mentally and emotionally, one of the things that I wrote down that I want to share with you is what you want to give your kids and what you're capable of giving your children is two different things. So you may want to give your children the opposite of the life that you had growing up. You may want to give your children more, in dealing with that opposite, more than you ever had, or maybe less. I mean, I don't know the way that you grew up or the way things happen for you. But when you talk about being able to care for your kids and you know, wanting to give your kids certain things, you can't give them what you're not capable of giving. And what I mean by that is you may want to give your children a lifestyle that is full of happiness, joy, peace, be a caring parent, be a loving parent. But are you capable of giving those things? Are you capable of happiness? Are you capable of joy? Are you capable of love? Are you capable of grace? There's so many times, especially with children, that you really have to be able to deal in grace and mercy. Because one, obviously, is given to you, but in the same sense, you need to be able to give that to your children. So, what you want to give your kids versus what you're capable of giving your kids is a very important thing, because many times people forget that, you know, it's hard to give somebody something you've never had. And many people grew up without having certain things in their home, without experiencing certain things within their life, and they turn around and want to try to give that to their children. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it may be a situation where you need a little bit of guidance, because if you are um trying to give them love and you've had a hard time with love, then you're going to give them the hard time with love versus just giving them the love that you desire them to have. So it's really important to be able to focus in on what it is that you desire for yourself and your family and your children or whomever it is that you're raising, and how you're going to do those things. Because it's so many other times in life that we make plans, we lay out plans, we tend to do things, we plan intend to do things, but you if you don't have a plan on how to do them, then you can't be upset about the results. So I think it's important that if you desire to um really tend to your children or tend to your family in a certain way, that you are, giving them what it is that they need in the way that they need to receive it. That goes back to the love languages that we talked about. And not only do they have love languages for marriages, but they do have books and things about love languages for children, so that you can know and understand what the love language of your child is. So what you would desire to give your child versus what you're capable of giving your child is really based on the experiences that you've had in your life. So, I just think it's really important to kind of address that because, you know, there are so many people who desire so much for their children, but they really don't know how to give it to them because they've never had it themselves. And it's kind of like even in a business, if you decide to start a business, you're a baker. You decide to start a bakery, but you've never opened a bakery before, but you don't want to take any advice from another baker. You need that advice. You need to learn how to establish the business if you've never had a business before. You need to be able to find someone that can give you and assist you with the knowledge you need to be able to open the bakery. But at the same time, you have to be coachable. You have to be, in a position to be able to receive. Because if you're busy trying to give your kids something you've never had, you really got to go to a place where you can renew yourself and restore yourself to be able to give them those things. So, that's again just not being afraid of going to therapy or figuring out ways to address different situations that have happened and that are going on in your life. It's important to be able to address those things. So that's one thing. And then um, the other thing is, if you are not in a position to be able to give your children what it is that you desire them to have, you also have to be able or be comfortable with, not receiving an immediate um, acceptance. Sometimes we want an immediate opportunity to make up for it. We want an immediate opportunity to make up for it, whatever it is, to be able to make up for it, to be able to make up for not loving them the way we want, or to be able to make up for not being able to give them all the things that we want. We want an immediate opportunity to be able to do that. And sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. Um, you know, in life, sometimes you may do something wrong, or something may go wrong, or something bad may happen, and you may not be forwarded an immediate opportunity to be able to make that situation better or make a change. You may have to wait. But there's an old saying that a delay is not a denial, that you have to be comfortable in the wait. You have to be comfortable and patient in the layover, in that time frame when things may not be moving and functioning the way that you want them to. Especially as a parent or caregiver, you have to be willing to wait for that next opportunity to do it. I mean, I don't have teenagers right now, but I realize that people who are raising teenagers, are constantly looking for the right opportunity to speak, share, connect with their child. It may not always be an immediate opportunity to do that. And you have to be able to open yourself up to understanding that though those opportunities may not come around as often as you desire, that those opportunities are still uh, going to come around eventually. But you have to be prepared for them. If you're waiting for that opportunity to be able to care for, speak with your child about something, even younger kids, finding the right time to address certain issues. Um, some parents may feel like it's never right time. Just go ahead and speak up and say it. And then other parents are, like I said, looking for that opportunity to really speak on it or talk about it. And then again, there's the other opportunity of, waiting for the opportunity to make up for those things that you've encountered. So um, it's really difficult, sometimes as a parent to really gain that understanding of what it is that you desire for your family and your children, and how to implement those things. So if you're constantly looking for that opportunity to be able to share yourself with them, then you'll be able to find it. But sometimes in the midst of the layover or the wait, people give up a little bit and they miss that opportunity to connect with their child or with their family. And so you just really have to be comfortable, like I said, comfortable in the wait when it comes down to, connecting with your children and connecting with your um, loved ones about mistakes, about situations that may need to be readdressed. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. And, the past couple of days for me have been, pretty rough. Just with the kids and with school. And I'm not talking about just their school. I'm talking about my personal schooling, working on my own degree and homeschooling the kids and just trying to make sure that they're receiving everything that they need to receive and learning what they need to learn. But they show me every day, like, that they're always learning, that they're constantly learning. And as parents, we have to be comfortable knowing, we that doing whatever works best for our children is working at its best for our children. I don't believe in mom shaming or parent shaming people for doing what works best for their family. We're in a season right now where some children are back at school and some children are not, and that's totally okay. People have to do what works best for their family. That didn't work for my family, so I'm homeschooling. And I'm stretching and growing a lot in that and finding a lot of different resources and learning and understanding things in a way that I may not have understood them before. But where I live, they only require a person with a high school diploma or GED to be able to teach homeschool. And I have far exceeded that level of learning. So I think that I'm more than capable of giving my kids what it is that they need. And it took me a while to get comfortable with that particular line of thinking, you know, gaining an understanding of what it is that, you know, I'm supposed to do and how I'm supposed to do it, and being comfortable with knowing that I'm capable of teaching them whatever it is that they need to know. So, you know, I greatly, greatly, appreciate any opportunity to learn and grow in that area and provide whatever it is that my children need to be able to make them the best human beings possible. So, um, that's really all I have for tonight. I wasn't trying to hold you guys long, but I just really wanted to share um, those few things because I think that so many times um, parents just we struggle with things and we don't say anything. And then we feel like we're the only ones. And you're most definitely not. Obviously, there's no manual to parenting, and we have to learn what works best for our own children and figure that out and maneuver that the best way we can. So, I am just super grateful for the grace that God has granted me and, my ability to be able to extend that same grace to my children. So, either way, I'm super, super grateful not staying on here alone tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I know I'm a little shorter than usual tonight, but I just had those few little things. So if you just joined a couple things, if you want to go back and listen to them, um, um, ooh, I forgot to talk about one thing. One thing, when should I have, oh no, I talked about it. So I talked about, people who want to have children, when they should do that, having the idea concept that, I have to have children when I'm financially ready. No, and they need to have them when they are mentally and emotionally ready. That's key. That was a post that I did. What you want to give your kids and what you're capable of giving your kids is two different things, and kind of understanding and knowing what that looks like, and then wanting an immediate opportunity to make up for it, whatever it is for you, wanting an immediate opportunity to make up for that. So those are it for tonight. Just a few things that I wanted to talk about and cover, but thank you so much for joining me on Mommy Mondays. I greatly appreciate you all, and so I will see you next Monday. for Mommy Mondays. And if you're interested in joining me on a Monday, mom or dad or caregiver, however it is, your family is aligned, you can send me a DM, or if you have a question that you would like for me to address, you can DM me that or message me that as well. Or you can email me at e.walker@ebonywalker.com. So thank you so much for tuning into Mommy Mondays. You guys have a great night. Bye bye.